I just wanted to get stuck in, especially with the route on stage one going, about 8 miles, 10 miles from my house. I just wanted to, get in and just, mix it up if I could, and just to see what I could do. Just knowing the route itself, especially on stage one, when there was a massive crash halfway through stage one, the split had happened over Rosedale. A lot of the key favourites in the race. I mean, Ben Smith fell off and broke his shoulder, and a few of the other guys that were all up the road, and some massive hitters basically wrote off their race in the first 3 hours of the tour because of the road conditions and not really knowing what's coming. Without having the knowledge that I did, then I wouldn't have. I potentially might have crashed in that corner as well. And having the confidence as well, you can make up a lot of time on the road if you know the roads. Taking lines that it's just knowing where the road goes and the nature of it, especially if it's wet, and you can just use that to your advantage really. A lot of my friends went out and just wrote a load of abuse all over the road, like looking fat Harry, and it's still on the road now. When I ride up there, they've gone and done it in bloody spray paint, so it's still on the road. But it's just the support like that. It's just really motivational. And seeing riding up there and just hearing people shouting my name when I'm riding up all the climbs, and just recognising people at the side of the road, and just being with that group, and then obviously coming over Castleton and the full Cleveland Wheeler squad are out there like with the big flag up and shouting me on, and just basically when it's hurting and it's digging in, and everyone's like shouting you on, it just gives you that extra motivation. He shot past me up Rosedale like I wasn't even moving, like I was getting spat, and he could roll past in the saddle, just like unbelievable. And on the third day, just rode off the wheel, like going up this long climb. That was when I got dropped after about 3.5 hours, and game over. Extremely tough, I'd say. I think that when I was actually riding the course, I thought, if this is the third day, so obviously you got 2 days in the legs, then there's going to be a hell of a lot of people that, like, even just to finish the stage, never mind race it. I mean, I went and rode it in January, and it took me over 6.5 hours to do it, and that was from Great Ayton, it wasn't even from Middlesbrough, so I think it was one of the biggest training days that I've ever done in my life. I think it was about 125, 130 miles. Say probably the Grosmont climb. I mean, last year it followed the same route actually, into Grosmont and out of Grosmont as what it did last year. But this year, because it doesn't bear left out of Grosmont, it goes straight up onto the tops. That's going to be the race will be in pieces by then anyway. And if it isn't quite in pieces, it definitely will be by the top of that climb. So that's probably a really good place to watch. If you come to say Great Ayton or Stokesley, you could potentially watch them come through as a bunch there, and then maybe ride over to Castleton or ride to Hemsley or something like that, and then you could go and see them again at a different location. I think Sky will go there and try and obviously defend it very well. Depends who they got riding again. But I think in terms of animating the race, I think the classics riders, if there's any classics riders that are riding it sort of thing, they'll be depends how controlled it is. But with the nature of the course and stuff, I think it will just be war of attrition, and it's down to a small group. Scott Davies, who's a year younger than me, I'd like to see Scott go well in it. He's a young rider. He did a real good ride last year. He was either he was around top 20, like, so he's got potential to do a good ride. Yeah, since the actual tour came to Yorkshire, 2-3 years ago now, it's like the Cleveland Wheelers themselves. They've gained, like, their club members have gone up from about 150 to like 350, in the space of like 2 years, pretty much. So you never know, there might be another significant rise again, in the next year or so. With the race being a 2.1 status at the moment is really good for us, because obviously it gives the UK continental teams a ride in it. And I think it's good that they haven't changed the status, they haven't made it 4 days, they haven't upped the level of it. There's potential in the future for them maybe to do that, but at the moment I think it's just good as it is.
I think it's brilliant with it to have something like the Tour de Yorkshire so local, because I mean a lot of the elite sport we have locally that is kind of surrounding around football, and it's quite nice that other sports can get into the limelight a little bit, and kids can come and see some of the best cyclists in the country, some of the best cyclists in the world, and see them out on the doorstep. It's fantastic. from a personal perspective as well. Like Harry, I live in Great Ayton, and it's coming through the village, and it's great to be able to see that level of sport right at your doorstep. And it also showcases the area. We've got some beautiful countryside. People think of Middlesbrough and they don't always think about the locality and the type of fantastic countryside we've actually got here.
I think if anything, it'll do more for Middlesbrough than what it will do for anything else. The way they develop the campus here, and some of the things like Mima, and just the roads out of the town, basically into the countryside. I think it'll help change people's perceptions maybe of the area as well, which I think will be really, really beneficial.